When Arya stepped through the front door that Sunday evening, suitcase in hand, she looked like a postcard from paradise. Wind-tossed hair, sun-kissed skin, and a glow that almost disguised the guilt beneath. Her laughter filled the hallway as she kissed my cheek. "God, it feels good to be home," she said, setting her bags down like everything was normal. I smiled, not the kind that comes from joy but the kind that comes from knowing too much. The kind you wear when you're giving a liar the rope to hang themselves. "How was the girls' trip?" I asked, leaning casually against the counter. "Oh, amazing," she said too fast. "We went hiking, wine tasting, just girl stuff." "Sounds fun," I said. Then after a beat I added quietly, "So, did you and Kieran have fun too?" Her smile froze. For a second, everything on her face, joy, confidence, calm, shattered. "Kieran? Who's Kieran?" she stammered, trying to laugh it off. I tilted my head, watching her unravel. "You know," I said softly, "the man you called 3 times last night at 1:14 a.m. while your GPS showed you at a beach resort, 2 hours from where your friends were staying." Her lips parted, trembling. You went through my phone?" I gave a faint smile. "No, Arya. You went through my trust." She sank into a chair, face pale. "It's not what you think," she whispered. The classic line. The same tired script every cheater rehearses when the curtain finally falls. "Then tell me what it is," I said, my tone calm, detached. "Because right now it looks like my wife went on a girls' trip that included one man, and not me." Tears welled in her eyes, but I'd seen those before. They weren't sorrow. They were desperation. Guilt pretending to be grief. She started talking, the truth leaking out in broken pieces. How Kieran was an old coworker, how one drink turned into dinner, how dinner became a mistake. Each word was a nail hammered into the coffin of our marriage. When she finally went quiet, I asked one last question. "Was it worth it?" Her mascara was smeared, her voice barely a whisper. "No." I nodded once. "Good. Because it cost you everything." I walked down the hallway. My bags, packed days ago, were waiting by the door. She stared stunned. "Where are you going?" "Somewhere you can't follow," I said simply. "I already signed the papers. They're on the table." Her mouth fell open. You filed for divorce?" "I did. The day after you left." She rushed toward me, grabbing my arm, crying harder. "Please, it didn't mean anything. It was just a mistake." I looked at her, steady and unflinching. "You don't accidentally betray someone who would have given you the world," I said. "You made a choice. Now you live with it." I didn't yell. I didn't slam the door. I just left her there, surrounded by the ruins of everything she destroyed with one weekend of selfishness. In the weeks that followed, she called, texted, even showed up at my office. Every message said the same thing. "Please? I'm sorry. But apologies don't rebuild what deceit burns down." I'd spent years believing loyalty came naturally with love. Turns out it doesn't. Loyalty is a decision, one she threw away for someone who disappeared when reality hit. Months later, I heard from a mutual friend that Kieran had moved out of state. Apparently, he told her he wasn't ready for anything serious. The irony stung. She had destroyed a marriage for a man who never intended to stay. By then, I'd settled into a small apartment overlooking the city. It wasn't grand, but it was peaceful. Quiet. Honest. One day she emailed me, pages of regret and confession. I read it all, then closed it without replying. At the end she wrote, "You were right. You were the only one who ever truly loved me. Maybe I was. But love without respect isn't devotion. It's punishment. And I'd had enough of that." Now, when I remember that night, her smile, her glow, her girls' trip, I realized that my calm question, "Did you and Kieran have fun?" wasn't anger. It was closure. Because when trust dies, love dies with it. If this story moved you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us share more powerful, true-to-life stories. Stay tuned, the next chapter begins soon.